tells you it like it is. If you don't like it, don't watch it. The talkers and the smoky bacon walkers.
Hello, all you hardcore boxing fans out there. How are we doing? It's Russ here from Porky's Corner. Today I've got a treat for you. We've got Terry from London coming in. How are you doing, Tal?
Mate, all good. I'm, glad this Jubilee weekend's over.
We've been drinking.
No, mate, to be honest, maybe I'm just the only one out of 70 million people that thought they got the bank holidays wrong. It would have been better to have 2 4-day weeks than 1 3-day week and 1 5-day week. It just feels a bit weird on a Monday.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah, because you were drinking yesterday, you mean?
Nah, I wish, man. Look, even the Queen got bored of it halfway through, if we're honest, right? She was like, listen, I'm just staying at home. You lot carry on without me.
She did, mate. She did. She stayed on. She didn't want to go out and sit there. But wasn't there a bad atmosphere, it said in newspapers this morning, regarding some of them don't get on, is it? The Royals?
Well, Harry and Meghan don't seem to get on with anyone at the moment.
Yeah, I can imagine. I'd get on with that Meghan all right, though, do you reckon?
What was that?
I think I'd get on with that Meghan.
Of course, mate. I mean, I think that's why she originally came to the UK.
Find me.
Yeah, man, to find the poor. Now that you got the teeth, it's game over for everyone.
I know, I meant to make most of the other ones out, though, didn't I? They've given me one of them things to put in my mouth, It's a bit like what Savannah's got, one of them Invisalign rubberized things, so I don't grind my teeth at night. So I'll put that in at night. And just to get you into a routine and that. But other than that, I'm all right. It's pretty painless now. It just seems like a distant memory. I'm glad it's over, though.
Yeah.
Right, we know there was some boxing on at weekend. I'm just going to go through a few fights for you, Terry. I haven't got no wrote down. I'm just going to fire it off at him. Devin Haney is 23 years of age. He's now the undisputed champion. Is there an asterisk next to his name because didn't he get one of them belts in by email?
It's not even that though, Porky. Right? This is what annoys me. When Terence Crawford went undisputed at 140. There were no gaps. There wasn't anyone where you're like, well, why don't you fight so-and-so? Short of pulling someone down from welterweight or someone up from lightweight, Crawford was unquestionably number one, right? So when he was undisputed, you're like, I like that. You look at Canelo. What's Canelo? 168 undisputed? Probably one fight away from really locking that down. If he fights Benavidez, then you don't question that he's the number one at 168. Devin Haney has question marks over his whole career. Like that Kambosos fight was a bit of a letdown. I know Haney's got his fans here, there, and everywhere. I just think he's a terrible watch. He's not great for the sport, and he sort of won it the sneaky way, as far as I'm concerned. Because if you look at Teofimo Lopez, he had to win those belts beating Lomachenko, right? Do you think Kambosos is better than Luke Campbell? Because I don't. I think Luke Campbell would beat him. And Ryan Garcia's got a win over Luke Campbell, like a stoppage win as well. Devin Haney doesn't have that signature win.
Luke Campbell don't know, does he? He's only won a Commonwealth.
No, but Luke Campbell would beat George Kambosos. There's no question in my mind.
Yeah, he would do. Yeah.
So for me, I look at Devin Haney's career, and I don't want to hear anyone talk about Linares and Gamboa. I don't want to hear anyone talk about them because they were washed up when Haney fought them.
Linares, I mean, he were going strong 8 years ago, wasn't he?
Well, there you go.
He were coming over. He kept coming over here, didn't he, for fights all the time, didn't he?
Yeah, just cleaning up. His UK World Tour.
Him and Canelo.
Well, Canelo's on his way. Canelo did it on home territory. They just cleaned up against the Brits.
So, I mean, where do you rate Devin Haney? He's got all belts. By hook or crook, Terry. We can't knock that, can we? Hearn's done really well to get all them belts for him, hasn't he?
Well, Hearn didn't get him the belts.
Yeah, no, but Hearn's been behind him, hasn't he? More or less, hasn't he? Devin Haney for a good while, hasn't he?
No. If you remember, this is why Devin Haney's career is really interesting, Porky. He turned over at 17 and no one would pick him up. So he basically had to self-finance a lot of his early fights. So he racked up a record from a 17-year-old. He racked up quite a good number of fights, not many stoppages. And that's when the red flag started to come up, when he couldn't get stoppages early on in his career. And then what Eddie did was he was desperate for American names, right? So he jumped on the Tevin Farmer thing. He jumped on the Devin Haney thing because the hardcores were talking about them online. And so Eddie was just like, this is the only chance I have to make a dent in America. But when he tried to make the Kambosos fight, DiBella wouldn't work with him. And then Haney went to Arum. Arum was able to do a deal with DiBella for the fight. And that was a 2-fight deal. There may even be a rematch, although would you want to see that? I don't think you would. So what do you do with Haney next? Do you put him in with one of the other young Tigers? Or it's a top-ranked fight, so do you put him in with Loma? If he beats Loma, I'll hold my hands up and say he belongs at the top of the division.
Well, didn't Kambosos beat Loma?
No, Kambosos beat Lopez, who beat Loma.
Oh, the guy who beat Teofimo beat Lopez, didn't he? Yeah. What's going to happen to him now then?
I'd probably move up to junior welterweight.
Eddie's done well for Haney, though, hasn't he? I think.
Well, he's given him money, but he hasn't. What fight has Hearn given Haney that's made his career?
I don't know. He's working with him now, and he's got 4 belts. Even if he didn't get him, he's still got back in mix, like with Canelo, isn't it? He always seems to get there, doesn't he?
Well, no, because Hearn's not promoting the next fight.
He didn't promote that one, did he? In Australia, did he?
Yeah. So what's he really doing for the zone? No, he didn't promote it. So Hearn's on the outside looking in for this one. And I can really see them putting Haney in with Lomachenko because Arum's like, I want to keep these belts for myself. I don't want these belts to go to the zone. Yeah,
that's what Bunce was saying, isn't it? Last week. That Bob Arum they like to dominate divisions, don't they? These promoters, like him, wanted all them belts, didn't he? Them heavyweight belts.
Yeah. To be honest, man, I'd just like to see the belts scattered again. I'm not a fan of this undisputed thing because, like, if you look at it, it's rare that the undisputed guy is the one who's the number one in the division, and that's what I want to see. I want to see someone who's number one, and the road to undisputed should be you beating everyone in your way.
Yeah, it should, mate. It should. It shouldn't just be Canelo picking and choosing fights or Haney and people like that. Fighters are businessmen now, whereas before in the past, there weren't many belts to go at. They just had to get in a queuing process and work your way up. Now there's that many belts. They're spoiled for choice. It's like being in a sweet shop, Terry, isn't it?
It's embarrassing. Like, genuinely, like when they're saying that Haney was undisputed, I was like, but there are so many disputes about that. You know what I mean? Tank Davis will be saying, well, I'm better than him. Ryan Garcia will say, I'm better than him. Lomachenko will say, I'm better than him. Shakur Stevenson will say, I'm better than him. Probably. So now you're there walking around like you're undisputed, but you're really the 4th or 5th best lightweight as things stand today.
That's like Birmingham City winning, I don't know, FA Cup, innit? And getting a few buys, don't we?
Yeah, no, you're right. Well, not even a few buys, but they just had non-league teams all the way through. I remember Arsenal had a season like that, where they just got to like the quarterfinals beating rubbish teams.
Yeah, it's not good. So Haney is undisputed. We spoke about the other guys. Let's flip the coin now and go down to 130. Joe Cordina, 15-0, age 30. Zelfa Barrett, age 27. I forgot his record now, but he's just won European, hasn't he? He's only got 1 defeat. Is he 28-1 or something? Or he's 28, something like that. Oh, Ronnie Clark beat him, didn't he? So is Zelfa and Cordina going to fight in a domestic?
No, of course not. It's Eddie Hearn. They won't fight each other. What Eddie will do is he'll have Joe on the IBF and he will wait for Shakur to vacate and put Zelfa in for one of the other belts. That's what they'll do. And then we'll have this really pointless unification fight between the two of them.
Who beat Stevenson in the Olympics then, Terry?
The kid Ramirez. He's turned pro as well. So the Cuban kid, I think it's Robesley Ramirez, beat him.
Who's he signed with?
Top Rank.
See, they're there every time, aren't they? Top Rank, aren't
they? Because they deliver.
They'll be wrong the Top Rank at ESPN, don't they?
Yeah, it's just Mate, to be honest with you, but it goes to show what a shambles boxing is at the moment, right? All this, undisputed that. Mate, I don't care anymore. Just give me good quality fights. That's all I want to see. Good quality fights. Let Shakur jump in with someone good. At the point these guys are in their careers, there should be no more learning fights.
I see where you're coming from, yeah.
Yeah.
Zelfa's had enough learning fights now, hasn't he? They've got to be let off at least some of these now, haven't they?
Well, they tried to let Zelfa off the lead before. That's why he's back where he is now.
Did you get beat, but he got a decision recently as well?
Mate, he's probably, but he hasn't looked good for a while, has he?
Maybe himself might be enjoying this then too much. He's been earning well.
I'll tell you what will happen, right? Eddie will just dig up Miguel Burchelt for one of these guys. And then they'll be telling us that Burchelt was this killer before, or they'll drag up Navarrete from 126 to 130. You know what Hearn does, man. He'll find a soft way to keep these guys relevant.
Yeah, that's just how it is, isn't it? What do you think about the situation, Terry, with Lucas Brown? He's done that far, and he whatever his name is, FA his second name is Junior Farr. He's done him, and he's ranked in top 15 with WBA, and he's pushing 44-year-old, 20 stone. Terry, help me out, mate.
Pork, I can't, mate. Like when I saw Lucas Brown had won by knockout, and then I saw the knockout, I was like, how bad is Junior Farr? Like, how bad is Junior Farr?
How bad is Joseph Parker? He couldn't have out with him.
Mate, how many years I've been telling people Joseph Parker's another one of these hoaxes that we've been forced into believing is halfway good. He's not. He's just a guy who's reasonably tough. That's it.
Well, when Brown, Big Daddy Brown, the tattooed penis, when he beat that Junior Farr, I thought, well, tell me what, I thought, I wonder what the White Rhino thought about that. Well, next day I got up, people texting me, White Rhino's called him out, hasn't he? Brown.
Oh my God.
Brown against Allen, battle of the waistlines.
Oh man, that would be terrible. But it goes to show what a joke boxing is, right? And maybe we're the mugs because we keep watching it and we keep talking about it. Because like you've got Australia's fourth best heavyweight beating Junior Farr. We didn't even know who Junior Farr was till Joseph Parker told us we had to care. I mean, like Brown lost to a rugby player not long ago. I think he got beaten, got stopped by Paul Gallen, didn't he? And that's the next rugby player.
Yeah. Brown's back in mix, right? Lucas Big Daddy Brown, right? He's back in the mix. A two-time drug cheat, back in the mix. 44-year-old, 20 clem, and he's only got 3 defeats in his record, and he's known as a former world champion.
I tell you what, I wouldn't be surprised if they feed him to one of these guys on the way up.
Feed him?
Lucas Brown. That's who they'll drag him up and they'll go, look, after this win, he's back, he's this, he's that. And they'll whack him in with someone like a Hrgovic.
Oh, fuck. Hey, could you imagine that, though? He might end up catching Hrgovic who won. We could be talking about Fury versus Brown for all the marbles.
Oh, mate, you'll find me hanging off the next balcony, mate. Like
Terry, imagine Lucas Big Daddy Brown, the movie. Co-starring Dave Allen and Eddie Hills.
Mate, like that literally makes you just want to stop and go, right, maybe I need a different sport. Maybe I need a better sport because it's depressing. And it was the way that Junior Farr just went to pieces. It didn't even look like a heavy punch, like it didn't properly land.
I thought it were bent that fight. It looked to me like, I don't know, like he'd been told to, I don't know, I'm not going to accuse anybody, but when I see things like that, I watched it and I thought, nah.
No, I think with that one, I think he just got hit on top of the head, Porky. And something
equilibrium.
I don't even know, something, not even equilibrium. Because if you remember when he was lying down, he started twitching.
Oh.
And when you do that, that's a sign that your nervous system's just gone a bit crazy.
Gone a bit crazy. Gone a bit summer, hasn't it?
Yeah, but as you and I've been saying for a long time, not much good comes out of Australia, man. Like Australian
Cricket.
boxers just tend to be good with stuff like doping, generally speaking. That's about it.
They're good at cricket, aren't they?
Sometimes.
Deontay Wilder's coming back. He's brought his new singles being released today. He's got a song out, hasn't he?
Everyone should buy it. Best heavyweight we've got out there at the moment.
Well, do you think Fury's retired? I don't.
Mate, he just bought a Rolls Royce. I don't think so.
I suppose he's had Rolls Royces before. I've seen him in Rolls Royce. Bought another one.
Yeah, he's got the Cullinan now. So he's got the Cullinan. Looks like it's British Racing Green. Got the probably the light cream interior.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're spending money like that, because that's at least $500,000 for that car. You're spending money like that, mate. You're gonna need one more fight just to make sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He'll not. He'll be punching for pay till he's 40, Fury. All right, because have you seen what's about? You don't even need to train for half of these, does he?
No.
I mean, could you imagine? Do you remember when I told you about him sparring the bar and Joyce when he was over 28 stone? He stood in the middle of the ring. I thought this is going to be interesting. Ask Frank Smith this from Berry. He never moved. Normally he's like, bouncing about and terrorizing them. He just stood in the middle of the ring and he went like that. We're doing that. And he went hitting them and they weren't hitting him. And I thought, maybe his dad's right. Maybe there's only him who can beat himself. Do you think?
I think so.
In this era.
He's got size, he's got weight, he's got skill, he can move when he needs to, and he's got that real ring understanding that you can't learn in adulthood, man. You figure that stuff out when you're a kid.
Studied the game, hasn't he, obviously, so that's good. But do I see Wilder fighting anybody good in his first fight? But yeah, he won't want to waste fights, and Al Heyman's got the bit between his teeth for putting shows on now, so I expect to see Wilder in a very competitive fight shortly. I don't know who with. I like seeing him with Delboy. Why not?
I don't know if Delboy counts as competitive anymore.
Yeah, but they're all saying is this, is that. Well, I don't believe he is. Let's throw him in with Wilder and you'll see him put into orbit on the moon.
Joseph Parker.
He'd put it, that wouldn't be competitive for Wilder, would it? But it's a name, isn't it? Who's another one? Who's another one we could put him in with? Nathan Gorman. That Nathan Gorman's a good one, isn't it?
No, come on, man. Stop.
No,
stop. Right.
No.
Stop.
Okay, then well, maybe in a couple. I think he's got a good skill set on him, though, don't you?
No.
It's because he's carrying a bit of weight in that.
Do you know what? He's been around long enough that if there was something there, we'd have seen it by now.
You think he'll peter out like Dave Allen has?
No, I think Nathan will be a solid British level guy for his whole career.
Yeah. I thought he had skills to bear me. I've seen him spar as well. I think he's always a lovely kid.
You know what it was? It was all that time with Ricky Hatton. He was just all left hand. He had nothing else. It was all left hand. And if he couldn't land with his left hook, there was nothing else there.
Well, that's all Ricky Hatton used to do on that punch bag, didn't he? He used to hit it like that 20 times with one hand. Lever it.
Yeah, and it worked for him to a certain extent. But once he got to that real world level, that elite level, they played with him.
Yeah, it's interesting. Joshua Usyk, they activated it October 8th. I know we've talked about this before. We're into June now, well into June now. Where's this fight, Terry? Where's this date? They keep saying, Tuesday. Tuesday and Friday, isn't it? Oh, it's Tuesday. Oh, it's Friday. It's now October.
It's going to be October, and here's why.
Why?
Mate, July is like 50 odd degrees, number one. Number two, most of the people who'd buy tickets for it will be on holiday with their families because it's the school holidays, right? Mm. So very hard to justify spending a couple of grand when you got to pay for the trip to Magaluf. And then The third one is you'll want to have it close to the World Cup, just so people are like, well, we can just do the Joshua fight, stay over, and then go over to Qatar for the World Cup. So I expect it to happen. If I was being honest, I expect it to happen after the Canelo fight. If you're going to schedule it to make the most impact, you probably have it early October, mid-October.
Yeah. Is it a good fight? Are we going to get same same Usyk? Is it going to be switched on? Is it going to be?
I think it's a good fight. Joshua will always be an entertaining fight because there's always that chance that the switch could flip in Joshua, and all of a sudden he starts uppercutting people to hell. And I wish he'd get back to that. I genuinely just wish he'd get back to that guy who just went, you know what? I'm going to just do what I know.
He's going to set about people. I mean, we both know what happened when the Cobra tried to be technical with Ward, and he tried to be technical.
I don't know what happened, Russ. What happened? Tell me, what happened? I didn't see it.
I saw it. You saw it. You got beat on points, didn't it? That's what happens if you have the wrong game plan. Joshua tried to be technical with a very technical guy who was a southpaw. You've just got to go out and be your sen, haven't you? That's what I think.
Okay, so here's the thing. You see all those guys who train under Papa Lomachenko. What they do is really simple, Russ, right? They're both, like, if you look at Usyk and Loma, they're both southpaws, right? All Usyk does is he gets kind of in range, and anytime his lead hand touches his opponent's lead hand, he pulls his head to the right-hand side so nothing else can touch him, right? And he'll do that a few times. And then after he's got that dominance on that side, he'll just throw a backhand down the middle. And Joshua never saw that. And I'm like, every boxing trainer should know what these guys do now. Yeah? So every time he touches you, if you can move to that side as well at the same time, he can't land these shots. Now, if you're going to bring in specialist trainers, I expect to see them fix that problem, if nothing else. Because if you have Usyk moving to his left, he's not the same fighter. When he goes to his right, he's like Chris Bird, just pretty hard to beat.
Chris Bird was a good fighter, wasn't he?
Really, really skillful.
Didn't he beat, who is it? Bird, the big heavyweight, what's he called?
He beat Vitali, I think, but Vitali retired because of a bad shoulder.
But he had some bad luck, like Vitali in fights, hasn't he? Has he only got 2 losses in?
I think so.
And they were both bad injuries, weren't they? Lennox took half his face off, didn't he? Took half his forehead out his eye, around his eye. And Chris Bird then, wasn't it? Yeah, so... And that's what he ended up, about 40-odd and 2. He had a good career then, didn't he?
Yeah, he was like that first real WBO champion, wasn't he?
Do you think that they were on gear, Klitschko's?
I think all those guys were on it at various points in their careers. I don't think anyone was clean 100% of their career.
Well, Vitali were fighting at the Olympics in '96 as a super heavyweight, and Vladimir was just a heavyweight, wasn't he, at the time? And Vitali failed a dope test for Olympics, so they put Vladimir, they pushed him into the super heavyweight position, didn't they? That's correct, isn't it? No,
I think Vlad was a super as well, because he's
Doesn't say that here on here. Go on, doesn't say that on here. I've just been reading it earlier.
No, so Vlad, I think, either popped. Didn't he pop in a kickboxing bout? It wasn't even in like an amateur bout. It was like something else he was doing.
Vitali popped for steroids, didn't he? And they kicked him out at Olympic team, didn't they?
Yeah, and they put Vlad in, but I think Vlad had boxed as a super before.
Yeah, but he was down to fight for the gold medal because he was going to go challenge for medals at the heavyweight division. Like Usyk. He was like an Usyk type. And Vitali, he's a 6'7.5", isn't he? He's a bigger bloke.
Yeah. But Vlad had fought as a super heavyweight as an amateur before.
Yeah, he did, Europeans. But like I said, he was going to fight. How much kilo difference is it, Terry, from super? Is there much difference?
Mate, you can be... So right now, the heavyweight limit in the amateurs is 92 kilos. So anything above that's super. So you can have a lad who's 93 kilos boxing a lad who's 129.
Oh, that's not bad then, is it?
If you're 129 kilos.
Him at 129 kilo, be carrying too much timber though. We need to keep up with a guy 92 kilo.
No, there's a guy called Big Ozzy. It was Oz. Oz was 6'8", like a real 6'8", and about 127 kilos with abs.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Remind me to keep my next missus away from him then. Right, women's boxing. I spoke to Savannah last week. She says she's going to fight Shields this year, and it's done. So everything's looking good, isn't it, for Sky Sports at the moment?
Yeah, but that fight needs to hurry up though, because we're losing a little bit of interest now.
Yeah, it's dragging on a bit, isn't it? What do you think to Yui Hunter?
That's like Crystal Palace playing Brighton. You know, it's like no one's going to get relegated. No one's going to play in Europe. You just hope it's a good game with loads of goals. That's how I feel about that fight. I just hope it's entertaining.
Tell me, that's harsh, that.
But am I wrong?
No, I think it's a good fight, yeah.
Yeah, no. What I'm saying is they're middle-ranking guys, and this win's not going to do much for their career, but they could give us an entertaining fight.
If Yui wins this, and Dubois beats Brian, Yui's mandatory for Dubois. He's just going to wait for the queuing process. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, but who wants that WBA regular anyway?
You're on map, aren't you?
Well, okay. Well, Manuel Char wasn't on the map, was he?
No, but Manuel Char don't sell tickets. He don't really speak good English, does he? He's not really a big promoter, is he?
Huey doesn't sell tickets.
Yui does tickets. Yui does tickets.
Where?
He don't do tickets like with Joshua, but Yui will do 300-400 tickets easily.
What arena is Huey Fury selling out?
If you're talking Joshua numbers,
no. I don't think he sells out your call.
You need the dance partner. Yui does tickets.
I don't think he sells out your call.
I think he does. On his own?
On his own. If you just put a fight, if you said to people, because remember when Joshua did this, he said, I'm fighting in Cardiff on this date, and people bought tickets. We didn't even know who he was fighting. We know who was on the undercard.
Listen,
and they sold.
You know what it is about Yui, don't you? Women love him, men want to be him.
I think only you want to be him, mate, not me.
I like Yui. He's a nice
wait, hold on. No. What I'm saying is, I like him. I'm just saying that he's a hard sell, right?
He's an hard sell because Savannah's an hard sell because they don't shout about, do they? They're very quiet, aren't they?
But Savannah puts people on their backside. So if Savannah's boxing, you'll watch it. If Huey's boxing, you're like, you know what? I can miss the first half of the fight because he ain't going to get knocked out, is he? So I can go away, get a takeaway, come back in, and just watch the rest of the fight.
Well, you might be surprised this time. You might come out all guns blazing. You never know.
You told me this last time, mate. I'm not buying any of it. It's not in him. Like, taking people's heads off is not his thing.
Jabbing them to death, though, is.
Yeah, and it can work. Like, look, it worked for Devin Haney, right? But when you're a heavyweight, we expect a little bit more from you.
So if Yui don't beat Hunter, do you think he's going to get loads of stick this time?
Well, not from you.
He might get a bit of stick off me if he loses. I don't know. What do you say to somebody who's a mate? I mean, I've seen him train a good few years now, me and Frank, and even though he doesn't say much, obviously speak to his dad regularly. I just think he's a good talent, and it's all there for him to do something really good now.
Okay, but he's been long enough in this game now. What's his signature win?
Well, he's beat a world champion, hasn't he? Former world champion.
Who?
I forgot the guy's name now. Some geezer recently.
Thank you. You see that? The fact that you can't even remember tells you everything you need to know.
He beat that Rudenko, didn't he, when he was a kid? He was 24-1, wasn't he?
Go on, Foggy.
I forgot the geezer's name now. Who Yui's just done. He did him abroad, didn't he? He was a former champion. He was a big old puncher back in the day. Is it him who goes, who next? I got milk, baby. Who next? Is it him? What is it him?
Isn't that James Tony?
No, it's that other one. There's Nigerian Nightmare. What it ever you would be? Well, maybe I'll have to have a look on my phone. Hang on, let me turn it on. Wait, well, it comes on. I'll just need to know who this person were. But we'll just click on new link, Terry. 2 secs.
Yes. Bloody hell. Sweating here. Boiling. Baking. Roasting. Oh, it's like a sauna. Furnace. Oh, left a bit, darling. You could fry an egg on my stomach. It wouldn't lap this up. Fabulous. Fantastic. Fan-dabby-dozy-tastic.